Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
Episode 2, Taken. I like how they do these little episodes. Feels like you're watching a TV series. New York City, 3 years ago.
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
Not before I grab the thermos. Oh, we live in New York City. It's pretty expensive, right? So we've got to be pretty well off, because this apartment looks pretty damn big. Hi, honey.
Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Ah, my wife's a photographer. It's kind of fitting, because now I can have someone do my promotional shots for me. I wonder if we have like a dark room in the house somewhere. Okay, we can look around. The coffee maker should be in the kitchen, I assume. Fancy. Oh no, already? Oh, the sudden stop 1.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie, a memory of my corpse, alone at my own wake, thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone, only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
This is the book that I sold. Yeah, this is the bestseller, The Sudden Stop.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
It looks like the main character in The Sudden Stop also was trying to look for his wife and family. Typewriter. I mean, we live in modern times, and Alan still insists on using a typewriter. He's got some special sentiments toward it. Alan Wake, Return to Sender, an Alex Casey thriller. What I Can't Forget, an Alex Casey thriller. Alex Casey. The Things That I Want, The Fall of Casey. So he's written 5 books in the same series. You know, I actually feel like that's really, really difficult, because from my understanding of how sequels of any creative work work, sequels are hard because unless if you're mega famous, they should be selling less than the original, the first part in the series, because if you think about it, only people who read the second part are the people who read the first part, right? So unless if you make it so that the second part is accessible without the first part, less people are gonna read the second one. That QR code, if it's the same as the one back in episode 1, it probably goes to the Alan Wake Facebook page. Oh, look at that. Fancy gun award. I feel like I don't have that many books for someone who's a writer. The people who write read the most, don't they? So that's my workroom. That's my wife's workroom, my workroom, and Our bedroom? No. The bathroom. A very empty cabinet. Okay, wait, hold on here. Hold on. We're brought into a flashback right now, but what the hell was happening back at Bright Falls? We lost a week of time. For some reason, a book that I never even wrote is kind of haunting me. The ideas were all only in my head, but somehow somebody has brought them to life, and the character from my book is chasing me, trying to kill me. And my wife has gone missing, and some funeral/widow lady has been trying to kill me. That's a lot.
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
A snowstorm. Everyone's locked in. Well, there's only one pillow on here. Do you guys not sleep in the same bed? That looks pretty small for 2 people. Okay, coffee maker. I feel like this is a pretty big apartment. Pretty dang big. We are just about to set up the TV. Hey, these textures still look really good for 2020. They're high res. Just like how in Control, you can zoom in on all the little posters to read everything. Okay, let's put on that coffee maker. Did we just move in then? We didn't even set up the TV.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Fancy double fridge. Can we go outside? I guess the snow's just started. There's not that much piling up on the balcony yet. Nice that we have a roof on our heads at a time like this. Hello, honey.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Oh, okay. She's not just a photographer, she's a designer as well. Yeah, wow, my wife is talented. We're basically like a perfect team.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Oh,
Alan!
yes?
Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine. Just get the lights back on. Now, please.
I will. My wife who's very afraid of the dark.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Under a romantic candlelight. But our happiness is over.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
It looks like he's normally a fisherman. So it's such a small town that they literally have a fisherman doubling as a doctor, and they were like, hey man, could you come over to the station to take a look at this guy?
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
I won't keep you any longer. I'm safe? But what about my wife? Okay, the sheriff can think I'm lying about the cabin and all the crazy stuff happening, whatever I told her, but it's a fact.
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
That my wife is missing. Well, if I were Alan, I would immediately try to think of finding that widow lady. The one that we saw, whose name we don't even know. And Carl Stuckey is also missing too. Did we basically kill him?
You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk to you.
Oh, he's saying I'm annoying. Okay, I'll go. Well, I mean, we had to kill Carl Stuckey in that situation because he was gonna kill me.
Thank you for testing
dear.
the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Hello?
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
She's holding a lantern, just like how in Twin Peaks, there's this lady called the Log Lady, and she's always hugging this log. But she's right though.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
You guys all call her weird, but she's right about the light and the darkness. She's hugging a lantern because it's safe. There's a missing kitty! Oh no! Gotta find it. Sheriff's Station. Missing Richard Bowe, Bruce Dansky, Jacob Miller. On a camping trip, overdue, haven't been in contact. If you've seen them or know their whereabouts, call the number. Thank you. How long ago did they go missing? Have you seen this man? Disappeared June 20th. What year is it right now? I don't know. Identifying features, knack for winning contests. This game came out in 2010, so maybe this is set in 2010? This guy disappeared in 07. It's been quite a while already. Okay, she's there, which means we're not going there.
Sheriff Breaker is waiting for you down the corridor in her office.
That's an old school computer. Small town. Low levels of technology and all that. Holding cell. Ha. I know I came here for a reason.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
That's gotta be the same lady. I call her funeral lady or widow lady because that's what black reminds me of. And she was also there when the lights first turned off in the cabin, and then Alice was really scared. She flashed for a second. So definitely something is up with her. One thing that caught my attention last time at the very end of episode 1 was Sarah saying that, hey, there hasn't been a cabin in Cauldron Lake since the 70s. Something like that, right? So it's not the 70s anymore, but the fact that the cabin did exist there in the 70s, it kind of makes me feel like we're time traveling almost.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the parade float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
It's a really small town, so even missing 1 or 2 people is really noticeable. Everyone has the same kind of routine. You go to the diner and hey, today
You should go see
so-and-so
the sheriff
is not
now,
here.
Mr. Wake. She's in her office.
You're so kind and patient with me. Fine, I'll go. You've got some fuse boxes here too.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Thank you.
Your phone, Mr. Wake?
Yes.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd locked me up. Excuse me. I need to take this.
Horizon sponsor.
Hello?
Alice, please help me.
Alice?
Stop
What?
talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't
Mr.
do
Wake,
nothing
can I help you
stupid,
with
pal.
anything?
We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he'd quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up.
This is a little bit surreal to me.
You can get to the back lot through that door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
Thanks.
Because I feel like we established that the reason for Alice disappearing is because of something paranormal, right?
The parking lot is through that
Oh
door
my
and down
God.
the corridor. Pay no attention to Walter Snyder on your way.
Okay.
But now we're getting a very concrete non-paranormal sounding phone call about our wife.
Lights on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here.
Do we have a light switch? We do, but oh.
Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
You are now. But I don't think we should discount what he's saying. Was he not Danny in the same way that it wasn't Carl Stuckey?
Where on your feet?
Who is leaving these pages everywhere, even in the prison cell? The dark presence in the diner.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Okay, the dark presence is seeking me out. Alan, if these ideas are in your head, do you know how the story ends? Or are you reading these right now being like, wow, I should have written this? This is scary though, because it's saying that the dark presence has a human mask, which means anybody we come across could potentially be the dark presence. The name The Dark Presence sounds very supernatural, but a human face? Not so supernatural.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Not before I stop to listen to the radio.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting that the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
It's really frustrating that, okay, we are in reality, we're not in a dream.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
We're seeing all these crazy things, but nobody else around here has seen anything. I'm the only one who's seen it. Wow, the ambulance is just parked in the police station. Are we really sure there's no thermoses here? In the bushes? No? Okay. I kinda just left Sarah hanging. She was gonna talk to me and then I just didn't talk to her. How do I get over there? You stand on this? Jeez, Alan. Just breaking things left and right. Oh. Wake at Lover's Peak. Oh, so I ended up going there.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time,
and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall and the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Realistically speaking, would anybody have a motive to kidnap my wife? Yeah, because I'm a famous author. Maybe they think they can get some money from me. I'm a damn writer.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Oh no.
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Alan, do you want to calm down and think about this for a second? Your wife? Did we see her fall into the lake? I know we fell into the lake, but I don't remember if we saw her, actually saw her fall. Or did we just hear a bunch of screaming, and then we tried to find her and she wasn't in the cabin? It's just a bit weird that a bunch of seemingly...
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
If we stop writing, the darkness will, or the world dies. The world stops. No, I'll leave the lights on for him.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and
Dr. Hartman.
regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed. All we can do is to slow down the progress of their dementia.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh! My. Take it easy.
In the police station.
Hey, nobody move. Get your hands off of my client.
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
Honestly, Alan's being kind of a diva here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
I don't know.
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a Swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
I saw how you were eyeing her. I don't like it. Bucktooth Charlie Colombian Mammoth. Okay, we're not under arrest, so we just kinda left the station and now we're at Lover's Peak. The skeleton of a Colombian mammoth, Mammuthus columbi. The specimen, estimated to be 14,000 years old, was recovered from the La Brea tar pits in 1981. It was donated to the Elderwood National Park in 1998, when the Colombian mammoth became Washington's state fossil. Named Bucktooth Charlie, it had since become the park's official mascot. Washington has a state fossil? Fancy. I understand that Alan is really in a hurry right now, but I don't know, man. You're not really giving the police much to go off on. You were at the station, you didn't tell her anything, and then you just rushed off. How is she supposed to help?
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
No, actually, Alan does have a lot on his mind. His wife is missing, supposedly kidnapped, and crazy stuff is happening. Nobody believes me. I can't tell anybody. Okay, Barry, whether you believe me about the Taken or not, it's a fact that my wife is missing, okay? Let's focus on that part. Gotta get all their coffee. We're allowed in the kitchen just like this. Oh. Is that a dog? Oh, and I thought we could get away from Dr. Hartman, but he's here. We saw him. And he invited us to the lodge, which is not open to the public. Is that his clinic?
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure.
What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky.
Can I pet him?
Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Poor Max. So that's Max.
Okay, boy. We're almost done here.
Nice view.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
My wife is missing. The kidnappers did say, don't talk to the cops. Oh, I don't know, man, but if we don't talk, who's gonna help us? But even if we do have the help of the cops, it's literally one cop in the entire town. Sarah. And the front desk lady.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
So these are the cabins next to Lover's Peak.
If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
The missing people that we saw at the police station. It's so naturey here. Easy to get lost.
You're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
I'm a little bit surprised that somebody like Alan would be so strict on believing science, because he's a writer. Writers thrive on imagination, aka beyond the bounds of science. He's kind of an ass though, to be honest.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. But you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
But you're my best friend, so you have to be here. You don't get a choice. This is a really nice cabin. This is so much nicer than the one we were at with Alice. Isn't it? It looks newer. Gotta have my trusty Energizer batteries. You know, Energizer, the best brand of batteries that exists. Way better than the competition. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Have the lights on, please. This side we can't go out. No. Okay, Barry, you hold down the fort and I'll be back or something. Oh my god. It's so freaky out. Oh! That's not normal. This would be such a nice scenic spot if my wife wasn't kidnapped. Ignore it. The other side of the house. Oh my god, a well! Oh, it doesn't work. Good. This would be such a nice spot otherwise. Oh, hey! Hello there. We even have a tub. A hot tub. All of that's gonna be meaningless without my wife. So let's go get her. The peak with a radio mast? I can't even see the radio mast.
I'll wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Locking the door now.
Bring a cell phone or something, Alan. You got your cell phone, Alan? With a battery charged? Barry doubts Wake's sanity.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
Maybe it's possible for us to get insight on what the other people are thinking with these pages. Oh. Okay. Should we drive? I guess so.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Fine.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
When we first picked up the phone, she said, "Please come help me" or something, right? But the way she said it was really monotone. Not really like someone who's in grave danger. Visitor center. What? What? I didn't even see what happened. Now this looks more like the cabin that we saw before. Oh, hey. Yes. Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh, yeah.
No plan, really, just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of
What
constitution.
the fuck?
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Well, considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Was I going crazy? Or was someone standing by the window? No. Okay, I actually don't know if I was crazy or what. Oh god. Okay, let's get to Lover's Peak then. Oh! Whoa. Oh, lovely. All the lights turned off. I just realized there was this side here. The whole ground shook. Well, normally this would be very scenic. Maybe during the morning. But not now.